Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers! Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
Hold on to your hats, kids. Things are about to get wacky. That's right. An askew birthday party. A rundown theme park. Franklin actually doing something. And babies, babies, babies. It's a Class B Cuspo return to form. It's Birthday World. How you doing? Dragon?
I'm up for some cake. A bevy of cake. I could go for some.
All right, so yeah, Birthday World. This video doesn't make me want McDonald's, says Monkey. This is number 4 of 6, Dragon. We're halfway through.
Well, yeah, we're more than halfway through, Tiki.
Well, this is literally the halfway point. We've done 3. This is the 4th one, and we'll have 2 more after this.
Yeah.
But anyways.
All right.
So Z and K, I'm not going to read off all your things in the chat, but basically he's kind of saying everything that we're sort of thinking here, Dragon, just to jump right into it. Birthday World, I mean, there's a format shift here. Like, Dragon, I'm gonna let you give your nostalgia and everything before we really dive in. But just off the top, like, this definitely feels like it's weird how much of a shift this is just 3 episodes in. It's I don't know, it's really odd. There's a lot of and I agree, Z&K, it absolutely feels like a downgrade. I guess Vern Troyer got fired because Sunday doesn't appear at all. So yeah, as for the episode itself though, Dragon, I quite liked this one actually. I mean, I don't think it's good, but I had fun with it. I thought it was it is still pretty off the rails with the whole, with the whole toddler gimmick that runs. Like, I knew that was a thing in this episode. I didn't know it basically took up like a whole, like, probably more than half of the runtime, at least half. So that, like, I didn't know that was like the whole gimmick of the whole thing, more so than the theme park. But I had fun, and I actually think the villain of this thing is by far the best of the villains that we've gotten so far in these VHS tapes. I really, really enjoyed him a lot. All right, Dragon, so I assume you actually have some nostalgia for this one, so why don't you take the reins here?
Yes, I do. I mean, probably not as much as I have with the last one, which I was kind of long buried nostalgia. But yeah, this is there certainly is a stylistic shift in this, and I'd say in the writing as well, as we'll get into with the framing device and such. But here's the thing. Going back to this, Birthday World was always like the accessible tape of the 3 that I had. At least the 3 I believe I had of the bunch. I think I only got like half of them in total.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was definitely a go-to, because I think honestly I had the best cover with with kind of the birthday, them all gathering a little McDonald's birthday cake. Looked really nice and festive.
It is very much like when I think of like the classic image of McDonald's Land, that image is kind of what I think of. You know what I mean? Like them all gathered together in a celebration of sorts.
Yeah. I mean, Birthday World, I think, is a really solid premise. I'm with you in that. With Birthday World, I recalled the setup of it just very flawlessly. And like, okay, Hamburglar gets bamboozled. They go to a crappy theme park, and I think they get turned into kids. But I would too was surprised that, man, that's really that's the big thing versus like crappy amusement park.
It's like almost, like I said, it's more of the crux of the episode than the actual Birthday World itself at some points.
So I'll admit, I think in retrospect, did not hold up as well as I hoped it would. I think between the two, I think I had the better time with the space one. I think again, we'll see how time travel holds up, but of the 3 tapes that I had, but it was quite the nostalgic throwback. I will say the things I loved about this, I still pretty much loved about this. So that's kind of mainly our birthday related things, and like the gifts and all that sort of stuff. So I think we hit we hit those beats well. I think ultimately when I look at this now, it feels it's very transparently riding on the Rugrats coattails of the times. It's very much McDonald's milking Class Picuspo for
Dragon, literally the diapers are, it's literally Rugrat
yeah,
diapers.
exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
It's
like
the exact same, like, copy and paste. There's a little bit of an Eldric Horror thing with the Franklin design for me, because it's basically Franklin's head on Tommy Pickles' body with the blue shirt.
yeah, pretty much. So
It bothered me,
very.
Dragon.
So yeah, it's basically it's McDonald's milking Class Cuspo for all it's worth, and this episode being very apparent of that. Like, yeah, they're trying to get their money's worth out of this venture, and it shows. Like, hey, what are they known for? Babies? We got to do an episode with babies.
And you know what's funny is that we already kind of had stuff like the surfing on the Grimace Island episode, which has, that's very much like a rocket power kind of thing.
Yeah, with the surfing, yeah.
Sure. Let's see. So we have some comments here. Monkey says, Pinchworm has some delightful evil laughs. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And Dragon, what is Pinchworm's evil plan? What does he hope to do?
Well, he wants to rule the world, do a very mundane thing. No one else will be able to oppose him because he'll be able to reach the top shelf. Even though that is BS, there's no way that guy's reaching the top shelf.
Okay, I'm sorry, Dragon. Did you say he wants to rule the world or
take over the world?
Of course! I'm sorry, he literally says the words.
Right.
Okay, anyways.
Anyway.
I can totally picture Doofenshmirtz playing Pinchworm. Oh yeah, I could totally see that too.
Yeah, I think Doofenshmirtz has a lot more charisma though. You know who this character reminded me of?
Who?
This must have connected as a kid too on some level because his design and everything he's kind of like kind of the not so he's kind of the less serious version of Professor Poopy Pants from Captain Underpants.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you remember him? Yeah, like has like the tufts of hair and the mustache.
I do remember that. Yes. Did you say the less serious version?
Yeah, the less serious version. Yes.
The less serious version of Professor Poopy Pants.
Exactly. Yes.
That's wonderful. I love that is a sentence that has been
said. That's the thing. That guy's whole deal is like, I'm tired of people making fun of my name. I'm going to make them suffer bad names so they know what it's like. That guy has kind of a serious motive. This guy's like, I'm going to take over the world, and there's a clown standing in my way.
Okay, but are you with me on the fact that he's the most fun villain so far, or do you disagree?
I mean, Tiki, it's like what our competition is. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to think of the first.
The competition is basically like Franklin from the first one.
That's what I'm saying. We have Franklin and a pirate, and the pirates were fun, but I mean, they had like a fish cannon. I don't know. I'll admit. I mean, in terms of who's more memorable, yeah, this guy tops the list, no question. You're not wrong. I mean, I don't think we've had any really truly great villains. I think this guy, in terms, is the most actually villainous of the bunch, instead of a pirate that's like gimme.
All right, so let's double back, Dragon. Let's talk about the intro.
Well, yeah. So let me. I don't really have any background, but the main thing to point out that Z&K is kind of laying out for us here. This is a more speculative background, mind you. So one thing I neglected to mention at the top, because I told you this little fact about Charlie Adler, but I looked at it. Did you know Charlie Adler, not only voicing the Hamburglar, he apparently has been doing voice direction for longer than I thought. He had done the voice direction on this, apparently.
I did know that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and also a director on this was Anthony Bell, who's done, again, he's a Cuspo guy, didn't do an As Told by Ginger at this time, Rugrats, All Grown Up, and so on and so forth. Now, so we have a revamp majorly with our intro, and I cannot tell you. All I know is we definitely changed Ronald McDonald's. You can kind of tell that visually. Now, I don't know why. Yes. I don't know production-wise, because I know we do shift into a year. I'm going to guess that we shifted into a year at this point. I don't know for a fact, but it feels like it, just in terms of like why, a difference between this and what we were with the last three. It feels like, we were kind of like looking at it in the formula of like, I wonder if there was feedback or a meeting of some kind. It's like, you know what, the dog's just not doing it. Let's axe the dog, and with axing the dog, do we have to bring so much of the wackiness to life? Like in terms of like the opening that we had, I don't know. I wonder if there was a reflection of like, maybe like notes on the opening and how it was, or if it was like, okay, well, we got a new clown, or it's the simplicity of like we have to change Ronald, and in doing so, we need a new opening with him. It
Uh-huh.
might simply be that. That might be the reason we have a new opening, and
I can see that. I can see that. That does make sense.
And there is a chance, perhaps it was like maybe we're going to streamline production, which we can't do quite the extended opening that we had before, in which we're doing like production value stuff, or we're like having extended dialogue sequences, and he's doing kind of wacky stuff, and then he jumps in the ball pit. Perhaps like, well, we changed the actors, we don't want to reshoot the whole opening, and
okay, can I just say I like the lack of the ball pit in this one stung, man.
I mean, yes, but by the same token, all the nostalgia I had for this majorly did come from. I do very vividly remember this opening before the. That's why, honestly, here's the thing. This is why I was so surprised that we had Sunday, because the only Sunday we had that I remembered was from the previous episode. And so this one I very vividly remember, like Sunday being off screen, and the fact that we do that great bit where like the countdown is what jazzed me as a kid. Like, oh god, there's a countdown. He's running on the treadmill. He's going to start the episode. That always jazzed me out of my mind as a kid. The fact that Ronald's got to find his shoe. It's basically like we did kind of a wacky mix of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, like the clown putting on his shoes and telling us stuff and recapping the adventure, and Pee-wee's Playhouse. Only less Pee-wee's Playhouse, more Mr. Rogers. With this kind of little Pee-wee at the end. It was a little bit like that. Defunct Land did an episode on this, and I'm blanking on the name. Do you remember the show with the clown girl cleaned up her room at the end?
Oh, is it Big Comfy Couch?
That's the one. Yes.
Okay.
Cool. I don't know, it's kind of a degree of Big Comfy Couch.
No, I can see that.
Yeah. Anyway,
also, I will point out that the theme song is actually kind of an upgrade, at least as far as the actual song goes.
I do love seeing Elvis Ronald. That cracks me up.
But I don't know. It's like the song's not great, but it's it's kind of catchy. Like ba 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 ba, the wacky adventures of Ronald McDonald.
It just has to. That's what I'm saying. I'm only speculating. It had to be kind of like a retooling of things. We got to put more of the clown in there, and we got to not just more of the clown in there. We gotta streamline all kind of our big production stuff. Just have the clown do wacky things, and we'll put them on a green screen and turn them upside down and stuff.
Oh God, Elvis Ronald, directed by Baz Luhrmann.
Can you imagine that? We should put in a call to our buddy Notarelli. Let's see if he can do that.
Oh my God!
We've seen Tarantino Ronald. Why not
Elvis? You know Ronald? What Notarelli would tell us.
No, of course not. Yeah, of course I know what he'd say. We wear the T-shirt. He'd say, "You fund it, I'll film it."
Exactly.
That's his catchphrase.
And even then, even if we could fund it, I think he'd be like, "Guys, I'm sorry, that's just too stupid."
I've given the Flash a speeding ticket. That's as not. I don't know who will go more. Anyway,
look, I'll take the funds. Any other idea, just not that one.
Anyway, the Power and Toastman sequel will do that.
Oh, by the way, while we're on the topic of like weird McDonald's spin-offs, Dragon, I'm going to pose a question to you about our McCheese show that we're developing, all right?
Yeah.
The continuing saga of McCheese, which has been a running fixture in this wacky retrospective. Should we have other fast food characters in the mix?
Well, who'd you have in mind? Like Wendy?
I had Wendy as an obvious kind of like, I mean, I hate to go all Frank Miller on it, but like a prostitute kind of character.
That's a bit much.
I'm sorry. I don't know what else to do.
I'm thinking like
I had like, we have Burger King would probably be the big thing. Like maybe like the King.
Oh, what Burger King was like the Kingpin?
That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah,
that would be really cool if you had basically you built up the Burger King as like the Kingpin who basically is like saying, "Hey, Burger, Mr. Burger Town. Hey, you think you own this town? This kingdom was founded on my land. It's all mine."
What about the Taco Bell Chihuahua?
I don't know the Chihuahua.
Oh yes, Jack in the Box. Yes.
That's the thing. You have Jack in the Box being. We're just going completely down the rabbit hole, kids.
I could see Jack in the Box being kind of like a, I don't know, like almost a like a car salesman, but a nice car salesman, like Danny at the start of Cobra Kai.
I mean, think about this. All right, okay, so you
Oh God.
have. So again, you have like almost like kind of like a kind of a law, kind of a law and order, kind of well, like kind of like a law and discourse sort of thing, where you have like the organized crime that was like the ownership of the Burger King. Like I own this land, this whole old McDonald's, it's built off my back.
No, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
And then you have like the mayor is just trying to keep things in order, and it's kind of like him. He's sicking Officer Big Mac on him, and it's just to no avail. Like he's too powerful. He's too sweeping in, kind of a kingpin of the organized fast food game. And basically, you have like that rivalry going on, and perhaps the Jack in the Box is kind of maybe somewhat of like a key to it all, where he is like he's kind of like either the Ronald McDonald knockoff, or he was like kind of like the man who could be king, but he failed miserably.
Totally.
But basically,
Yeah.
the man was poised to be the mascot, but he ended up being just kind of like a sad imitation and a jester in the McDonald's kingdom.
Monkey, I am going to say no to the pinchworm thing just because I want this series to be literally just all fast food mascots. I don't want to go into like the cartoon spinoffs. But yes, I love it. I love it with Jack. Also, Monkey, is Jack's name officially just first name Jack, last name Box? Is that canon? Anyways,
I guess his middle name.
Okay, so Monkey, is it fair to say like let's add just for this entry, let to the McCheese lore, let's go ahead and add Jack is what you just described, kind of like the man who would be king, and then also Burger King is like kind of like the kingpin.
I have an idea you're really gonna like.
Save it for part 5.
All right. I mean, we have.
I'm sorry. We got to keep this going, man. We got to keep this going. We can't run out of ideas here.
I'm just saying we have a comment that directly. Okay, fine.
All right, fine. Tell me.
All right. So Z&K brings up the fast food mafia. In real life, there was a mafia connect in McDonald's. So we have the Colombo family, the Colombo crime family.
Oh God!
There you go. There's your link. There's kind of like the Burger King's in. There's like we do the McDonald's. We do the McDonald's.
Right.
Essentially, the McDonald's lottery. We do like the McDonald's Monopoly thing. And that's how you get Mr. Monopoly in on it.
Oh, Mr. Monopoly. Yeah, I could work him in. I can make an exception for Mr.
Right, okay. That's where we'll taper it off. Okay.
All right. Anyways.
Anyway, if we can refocus here.
Well, Dragon, every episode of the wacky retrospective of Ronald McDonald or whatever the hell we call this has to have a McCheese segment, Dragon.
All right. Anyway, so back to with the intro again. I love he's looking for his shoes, and it's like the shoes in like the little fish bowl. It's really funny. He had like these anti-gravity boots and everything, and also so structurally with their writing. It gives you a tease of what's to come. So it's like he's sharing a story, which is one thing, but then he kind of plays the episode like a clip. So like before, compared to like Z&K earlier brought up, like what do you like there, T? Do you like him jumping into the adventure via the ball pins, like kind of a transform?
Oh, I absolutely like the ball pit a lot better.
All right, so you like that better than just like kind of Ronald regaling you with a wacky adventure.
Yes, I do, just because I feel like the ball pit is like more engaging, and it kind of like I feel like it also plays into like the childhood imagination of it all.
Gotcha. Okay, and also, well,
like I too could go to McDonald Land if I climbed down the bottom of a ball pit. Not the best lesson for a kid, but still, it sparks the imagination.
You know what's really interesting? This episode, while the opening of the previous one a little more magical, oddly, Ronald himself as a character in this, and I assume going forward, more magical. Like magical in the sense of that awesome, Christmas commercial.
Sure.
Yeah. Remember, he brings like, you know what he needs? A friend, and he makes the little magic. It's delightful and heartwarming, despite it being cold. Right. Anyway, so point Ronald starts the adventure, run on the treadmill, which is cool. Kind of a cosmic treadmill of fast food world, if you will. Anyway, so that brings us to so it's Ronald's birthday. It's the clown's birthday. And again, one could say this whole special kind of poised to make people want to celebrate the birthday at McDonald's. Think birthday, think McDonald's, think this tape, one-stop shop.
Exactly, yeah.
So basically we have a surprise party. How would you think of the cringy version of kind of like kind of this cringy version of Bye Bye Birdie or like the Brady Bunch with the whole...
It wasn't great. It wasn't great, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to we kind of mentioned this briefly in the previous episode, but now we got a little bit more of the world building here. How great is the architecture of McDonald's Land?
Oh, I mean, we've already addressed it, but yeah, it's basically like a city-sized play place, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I just love the. I love what I'm mainly pointing out is like look at Hamburglar's house. He has like this awesome burger house. It's like two burgers stacked
Right.
on each other with windows and everything, and yeah, it looks great.
Can I just say, Hamburglar being like one of the main focal points of the episode, like being the one who has the encounter with the guy and the tickets to Birthday World and everything. Dragon, I'm getting really sick of Charlie Adler's Hamburglar. I'm sorry, but he was already the focal point of the Alien episode. Now he's a focal point here.
They didn't know when these were going to air.
Adler, man, but the man is good in small doses.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's more like an airing thing. That's like just the way in which they came out.
No, it absolutely is an airing thing for sure. I definitely don't think they should have done two Hamburglar centric ones in a row. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get me wrong. I think he's good as the character. I just you got to admit his voice is it's a little draining after a while.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know.
Like the man's kind of got like a Richard Horowitz kind of quality to him, where fantastic talent, but it can be grating just in his style.
Well, do you know what Hamburglar sounds like after a while with the Charlie Adler voice? I know you're going to say cow, but when you stay with him for a while, in this episode, he sounded a little bit more like to me.
Who?
Buster Bunny.
Oh, I forgot Charlie Adler did Buster Bunny. Yeah, well, I could see that.
Apparently not anymore, but yes. Yeah. So I don't know. Give kind of a that's why I'm kind of like I don't know. Maybe I kind of was more forgiving towards it. After a while. It's just okay. It's kind of Buster Bunny, but he's a hamburger addict.
Oh.
Anyway, so so the Hamburglar he goofs up big. And this is really an embarrassing mistake to make because like of all the people's birthdays to forget, I mean, literally, you live in McDonald's Land. Your best friend's the mascot, potentially like the co-owner of the town, founder of the town.
He's not just he's literally like the god of the town.
I mean, it depends on who you ask, but yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of impossible. How the heck is he going to forget? How stupid is the Hamburglar that he forgot that? So he ends up being tricked by Dr. Pinchworm here, who again reminds me a little bit of Professor Poopy Pants, must say. So this guy, pretty much scientist with Napoleon complex. His big end game here is like, okay, I'm going to turn everyone into kids, so I'm the top dog because I'll be the adult in the room. And again, when he lists off all the things he'll be able to do, I really wish they took out that line. Oh, I'll be able to reach the top shelf. Or I wish someone called out. No, you're not going to be able to reach the top shelf. You're short stuff.
Yeah, you're still going to be short. Yeah, it's not like you're going to get taller in comparison to them.
Yeah, I mean, you might have like more of a say, but still, you're not going to be like it doesn't make you like big. I mean, you had literally the ray can grow you, but you're not using it for that. So I don't know what your thinking was.
Right.
Anyway, so point being, easy prey in the dim-witted Hamburglar scams him into, hey, Hambungler, tickets to Birthday World, free of charge. Take your friends. And of course,
and he delivers this in a not at all sketchy pitch.
Yeah, yes. Yes, Pinchworm definitely. He was struggling with the whole Eva, the showman.
Okay, so the reason I put Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama in the description is because this whole setup of Birthday World very much reminds me of that, in the fact that the theme of Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama is that it's run down. Like someone literally makes a joke about like, oh, it's like the theme of this park is that it's run down and crappy. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much Birthday World. But I do have a good time with the fact that it is very run down. I think that is an enjoyable element of it, because usually when we have theme park episodes dragging, the theme parks are almost like too good.
Yeah, that tends to be the case. Yes.
Like you look at something like the dinosaur theme park in Hey Arnold, for example.
Yeah, is it Dino Land or is it?
I want to say it's Dino Land. Yeah,
it's Dino Land or it's something. Dino. It's not Dino World. I think it's Dino Land.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah. We have like, there's, yeah. Of course, I keep thinking of all like the ridiculous ones in Freakazoid, but I don't think those are really good examples for what our purposes here, like Spumoni Ice Cream Land, because that's awesome.
Spumoni Ice Cream.
Hey kid, they Freakazoid. Don't
not to mention, Monkey. Yeah, that's another reason why I felt comfortable using Dino-Rama in the video description, is because there is actually a McDonald's corporate tie-in with Dino-Rama specifically. So thank you for pointing that out.
Hey Freakazoid, don't eat so fast, your tummy will get all irpy.
Oh God.
Anyway, so we have basically this. Here's the thing: when you think of the logic here, so it kind of makes sense, but when you're looking at face value, it doesn't make any sense at all. It's like Pinchworm basically needs guinea pigs, and he's luring them to the park and getting them on the big ride after all the crappy rides break down. Of course, the big ride, is the test. Basically, is the little kind of de-aging ray. So you'd think a scientist good enough to build a de-aging ray would be far better a craftsman. But then again, he's kind of evil.
But then again, it's like I feel like there's better ways to test something like this than going through all the effort of building an amusement park just to camouflage it, essentially.
Yeah, and plus he said that was a portable ray. Really, you can't just like have like an ice cream truck or something. You can't like I'm giving out McFlurries. You can't. I don't get it. Yeah.
Z&K, if you want to shout out that video, by all means. I don't think you can physically link it on the chat. I think that might be blocked as spam, but just shout out who it is, because that sounds interesting. Z&K says they're always seen as too good. If anything, they always resort to their pathetic rundown like Chuck E. Cheese, which I know. I guess it could be a mixture, but I'm thinking of places like Euro Reptar Land and the dinosaur theme park. Honestly, the boardwalk in Rocket Power is nicer than most real life boardwalks tend to be.
Wait, Tiki. So if I'm understanding you correctly from what you were saying earlier, you're saying that we have these fictional locations that are so much better than their real life counterparts that they are parroting.
Not what I'm saying is that specifically theme parks that are directly attached to like very urban settings, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah.
So not necessarily a Disneyland per se.
But well, no. What I mean is the realistic, like kind of scaled down, like places like a pier or something. They're much better in animation, at least the way like the parodies of in animation compared to real life, where like it's not going to be nearly as glamorous. Yeah, like the pier on Rocket Power is sublime. And even look at the architecture on the Shore Shack, man.
Oh God, I could. You want to talk about the Shore Shack? I fucking love the Shore Shack. Anyways,
yeah, it's a great location.
It's a shame that never made it into some sort of Nickelodeon theme park, because I know they do have Nickelodeon theme parks in the Mall of America and the Dream Mall in New Jersey. But
the chances are, Chances are, what's going to happen is there's going to be some rich guy who's really into nostalgia in Dubai is going to build the perfect theme park, and none of us are ever going to be able to go to it.
You know what I could see, though? I could see the Shore Shack being like one of those pop-up themed restaurants.
Like Movies with Kevin Smith, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Oh, yeah. Do you think they do that with the Krusty Krab like already?
I can't imagine that they haven't not done that.
See, that would be the dream right there. You walk in, you get a Krabby Patty.
I've always thought that Krusty Krab would be a good Universal Studios thing if Universal were to ever invest into SpongeBob, but
Anyway, so point being, we have the it's kind of funny. Like the best of the rides is actually the Death Trap one at the end, where they're going through like everything seems to be a death trap. But actually the best ride of the bunch, though.
Oh, by far, yes.
Let's see.
It
So, of
almost
course,
kind of has a little bit of a vibe of, oh, I feel dumb for blanking on the name, but that movie that I really liked.
oh, you mean the one with Charles Grodin, right? And Martin.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
God, that one I could have sworn that's another Dino one. That's what I'm blanking on.
It is a Dino
Is
one.
it just Dino World? Is that one Dino World? And that
I
gave us
think
like I
that
remember
one is Dino World.
because
Yeah.
when we were talking about it, we had the whole we brought up the Harold thing. Is it Land or World? And so I think it's Dino World in it's the name of the kid. It's the name of Martin Short's character.
I know it's the name of Mark Short's character. I just can't. Yeah.
Now it's going to drive me nuts.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna Google it really quick. Go ahead.
Okay, all right, fine. Regardless, so we go in there. We have the Funcellator, is what they call it, probably a fake name. It ends up getting them all de-aged and turned into kids. Of course, I imagine the logic here is like birthday, which kind of equates to youth. Ergo, it's our excuse to have our kids turn into kind of babies. And I admit, with the exception of Tika and Franklin, all of our kids wonderfully designed.
But Tika and Franklin, the problem is they look like warped Rugrats.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because
but again,
they quite literally use assets from the Rugrats.
But baby Ronald, man, like put that, sell a bunch of those. I mean, seriously, that's adorable.
Honestly, like you said, all the babies look pretty. Like I actually like the baby birdie, better than I like her adult counterpart. Anyways, Dragon, really quick, it's a Clifford. Clifford is the name. Yeah,
stymied again. All right. Yes, Clifford. So, regardless, was all right. So, I meant to bring this up earlier. So it's kind of funny. I'll bet you, in terms of theming episodes, the characters, like a reason they're probably doubling down the Hamburglar, kind of a double Hamburglar, if you will, is that they had nothing to work with Birdie.
Well, you know what's interesting is I'm just gonna say I actually kind of want to see a Birdie episode because from what they have, I actually think Birdie is kind of an interesting character from what little we have seen of her. Hold on one second. Because we had that little bit with her taking the martial arts class. We have the whole thing where she's a bird, but she doesn't know how to fly. I don't know. Like, I think there are directions we could go with her. Not to mention, I am a little bit biased because the Christine Cavanaugh of it all.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, there's definitely an interest. That's the thing. Like, Birdie has kind of an interesting origin story. The fact they hatched her.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She does get a spotlight video soon. Does it have time? Is that her spotlight video?
There's only 2 left, so it's like
I know.
A coin flip. So it's either the Loch Ness thing. I mean, couldn't she be in conjunction with the Loch Ness monster? I mean, we're kind of playing her high society. I don't really see her like being played Irish.
It is the last one apparently.
Oh no, he says no. The last one. Yeah, he's right. Okay, well there you go then. There's your connect. No wonder I never knew about it. All right. So let's see. Also, Z&K brings up, I love Baby Grimace as always. Yes, Baby Grimace is quite infectious.
I mean, once again, just Kevin Michael Richardson man, that dude must be one of the most versatile voice actors in the business, man. He must be.
It's kind of funny. We are getting to like kind of a little like kid argument about you burger boy, bird brain. It's kind of.
Because like even in this very series, we've seen Kevin Michael Richardson like just regular baseline Grimace is way different than what Kevin Michael Richardson is known for, and then we have him as King Gunga, which is it's similar to Grimace, but it's basically a different character. And then we have him here as Baby Grimace. It's very impressive, don't you think? Like 3 versions of essentially the same character.
No, absolutely. I mean, Richardson has always been kind of quite the marvel with that sort of thing. And I mean, just seeing him, I gotta be honest, I want to backtrack about D. Bradley Baker for a bit here because, Sunday, he's been touch and go and he's been getting a little better in previous episodes. There's a really great understated Sunday moment in this episode. I wonder if you caught it.
Oh, yeah, but I don't, there's none that I can think of off the top of my head, but by all means, if you want to point it out.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was when they were when the idea is Sunday is luring Ronald to the surprise party, And like the Grimace stupidly gives it away. Says, "Oh, sorry, Ronald, I'm running late for your surprise party."
Oh, that's okay, Grimace. I'll be the surprised one.
Which already is really funny. But there's a little bit where like Sunday's like Ronald's asking like, Sunday, why'd you want to go for a walk today? And it's basically just seeing like, oh, my dog was trying to surprise me, isn't that? And he pat him on the head. It's like a nice unspoken moment between the two of them. It's like kind of gratitude, like, oh man, this dog loves this clown, man, that's nice.
Let's see. I also just want to point out that like it's been a characterization thing before, but I mean, my God, it's really, really prominent here. Ronald is just so down for anything and everything, Dragon.
Again, I think I'll tell you the best line of this episode is very Jerry Seinfeld-esque. Again, I've used the Jerry Seinfeld comparison with.
I think it's adequate. I really do think it works.
Again, yeah, like basically, it's like what if like, a fast food mascot over Jerry Seinfeld? It's kind of that's kind of the way we play Ronald. And this is the straight man. But let's say the line that kills me in this from Ronald McDonald is, "He's the bad guy, remember?" Which is it's just great. It's perfect. And it's hysterical. It's like one is just a great joke though, but no dessert. No, you guys are the bad guys. Ronald McDonald's getting so exasperated. It's just being the sane one of the group here. It's just really funny.
But I mean, as far as just the the being down to do anything, it's like he is so down for birthday rolled without any sort of context to what it is. He is so fucking down.
You could read into it that it's like, oh, he wants to be supportive of the Hamburglar, because even though the Hamburger's obviously beefed it, doesn't want to make him feel bad.
Sure.
I mean, think about it. They keep going on this crap. Literally, they're trapped inside. Let's go for it.
No, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, he's just, I don't know. Like, I get the whole being supportive of the Hamburglar thing, but at a certain point, man, I feel like Ronald has to get some better judgment.
Yeah, he does. All right, let's see. So, what's up with the gifts that Ronald got aside from the Birthday World tickets?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. You got a kind of a nested kind of hat from Birdie. Got some glasses from Tika. Oh, kind of.
Do you think it's weird that the McNuggets are basically just characterized as like dancers?
Yeah, well, that's why I've been kind of.
That's their thing. Apparently, they just kind of go around. Like we saw them last episode, they were doing a sort of dance, and now
that's all they do. They just dance around. I don't know.
The McNuggets, man, they are an Eldric Horror of their own. Just the fact that they exist in McDonald Land, even though they are the food item, and actual like anthropomorphic birds exists, and McNuggets are made of birds, assumedly. I don't like that implication.
Hey Tiki, what is Eldric Horror anyway?
Eldric Horror, that is hard to define, but basically it's like Lovecraftian, essentially.
Okay. Oh, there you go. So you say it's kind of like a cleaned up. It's not like it's kind of like a less grim but more heady version of Lovecraft, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That tracks. Okay, so it's just about like the kind of the googly eyes from Tika. Then we had let's see, we got Sunday with his dog bowl, and Grimace with the ridiculously long poem,
which is gonna come in handy later.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of things that come in handy later.
Man, that is like Kevin Michael Richardson just being so down to make a complete fool out of himself, and I love it.
Here's the thing. Again, I think I find Grimace to be quite lovable in this show, and I think that's important. And again, I always love like this friendship between Ronald and Grimace.
No, I mean he is very lovable, and the poem is nice, but you got to admit it like today that is a hard task for Kevin Michael Richardson to pull off. You know what I mean? Just going on that long ramble.
Yeah. So Z&K brings up a really great Grimace gag. It's the fact that Grimace with like the infinite pockets gag it's a classic cartoony thing. The fact that this Grimace has it's like Grimace, do you have any pepper? Let's see, sugar, cinnamon, badminton set, pepper. Yeah, it was brought up earlier. The whole young Grimace's voice is a little like basically Grimace. I think Grimace's voice period is there's kind of a Barney Rubble. And see, Kevin Richardson does a great.
There's absolutely a Barney Rubble in it for sure.
But here's the thing: Kevin Richardson, he specializes in early Barney Rubble. The more nasally kind of like
right,
but
yeah.
Betty, that kind of thing before we went the art. before it went, the other way, kind of the honeymooners route.
Hey, you Fred?
All right, let's see. What was it? All right. So, then the last gift of all, which also comes in handy later, I think the best gift, the most awesome gift, came from Franklin. Franklin actually did something. He gave me the awesome Ronald toy as a kid. I wanted that thing, man, because that was awesome.
Yeah. Franklin in this one, I mean, he's not an awesome character by any means, but like he actually has some stuff to do here. And like you said, he provides the gift that does kind of like save the day in the end. So I feel like this is a bit of a redemption from Grimace Island Franklin.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I'll admit we kind of took him out of the equation as a baby, but sure.
Well, I mean, yeah, but even still, like with the baby thing, I feel like him and Tika, it was kind of like, just they kind of just became one character, the two of them combined.
Isn't it weird to see the Class B Cuspo babies, but they don't talk?
Dragon, there's a lot of stuff weird about seeing Class B Cuspo's babies in a non-Rugrats setting.
Well, I shouldn't say they don't talk. I should say it's like they talk very limitedly, but not to the degree of like fluent babies, but kind of like a language barrier thing from the outside.
It's almost like a weird in between of like the normal babies on Rugrats and like Dill Pickle speak.
Yeah,
it's a weird in between, and it's odd. Yeah,
it was always weird that Dill couldn't talk, but it made sense because he was like a newborn, so he didn't figure it out yet. But still. Dill was always like kind of that flag of like cartoon characters aren't allowed to age at all, and that's kind of weird when you introduce a new baby character.
I know, right?
This guy's always going to be this annoying. Then he's just always going to be kind of like the lump who's just going to be like a plot device. So he's not really going to.
There were theories that he was autistic, actually.
Well, I don't. I mean, that's the thing. We never saw another baby.
If you look at Dylan all grown up, I could buy it.
I mean, sure. It's just the fact that like we had never saw another like baby Dill's age to really gauge if that was like if he was different from another like baby like him, or if that was like that's the thing. So we'll never know for sure. But I mean, I don't know. It's Anyway, let's see.
Honestly, I think all grown up Dill is like that's actually like pretty positive autism coding if you look.
Can you remind me what the deal with All Grown Up is? Is it that like it was kind of like unsanctioned from the original creators of Rugrats, or like what happened there exactly?
I mean, it was Class B Cuspo.
I think so. It was Cuspo, wasn't it? I could have sworn there was like a thing where some animator who worked on the Rugrats like put out like designs of what the characters.
I mean, I'm sure it's not the exact same people that worked on the original show, but it was still done by the same studio.
Nothing, because I forget if Class B and Cuspo, if like Paul Germain left. I forget if Germain was the guy who actually said, "No, this is what I would have done with the character." I wonder if that was. If I'm thinking of Germain, or if it was.
I mean, it was definitely the last Class B Cuspo show, so there could have been a lot of drama involved.
Yeah, I know. Germain did. If I recall, Germain didn't quite get along with, or he had creative differences with Arlene Claspy. I forget. I think Claspy got divorced as well, so I think all three of them kind of split. I don't know. But anyway, we're drifting off here. Point being, let's see. So we have the pocket gag. Also, so Ronald's magic comes into play here, and again, he makes like the little maze. He's blowing the pepper to make it rain and grow the maze, and he's also let's see, he actually can bend steel, can bend like that little dog treat for the Cogster, the robotic dog that's hunting him. I love the accordion design of this dog. It had some good design work this episode, for sure. Let's see, so I know there's like another magic thing that Ronald did. I'm just gonna. Oh right. So Ronald, he I know he did like. I'm sorry, I keep thinking of the pepper, but he did something else with magic when they were in a bind. But anyway, point being, it's kind of interesting. So we put him in this death trap, which is essentially a McDonald's play place. Which, gotta admit, looks like a great sell of the play place, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, in the climax, we're putting them in their own kind of like going down these slides. We didn't get a ball pit, but we did get the awesome slides, though.
We did, yeah.
Which was always, I remember, man. Did you have you assumably you had the ball pit where you had like the little kind of hub where you walk up the little stairs to your right, you got the ball pit, and then you go climb up, and then eventually you can slide all the way down.
That sounds about right. Let me tell you about something very particular. I'm wondering if you had the same sort of thing with the plastic slides, Dragon. Did you have a problem with the static shocks on the way?
Yes, absolutely. Every time. Yes.
To this day, I refuse to go down those kind of slides. I hate it.
Yeah. Oh, Monkey in the comments. He brings up the thing I was thinking of. The topiary. Brought the topiary to life with the magic.
Oh, yes, yes.
Right there. Anyway,
but no, I remember when they started converting all the metal slides to plastic, and I mean that was like around the time where I was kind of like aging out of going to playgrounds. But I remember like that really cemented like, okay, like playgrounds are just dead for me now.
I gotta be honest, man. I kind of like briefly would have the fantasy as a kid. Of course, now it probably would not be a sanitary, but I'm saying, imagine, wouldn't it be cool if you had like a clubhouse in the little ball pit area? It has like, because it came in like a little dome within the giant play place thing. So like, what if that was just kind of like your little kind of hide, kind of like a clubhouse of sorts?
Oh,
just hanging out in the ball pit.
See that as a clubhouse in the '90s for sure.
Yeah, just kind of hanging out. You got a ball pit, just like like maybe toss some. Think about it. Just imagine like a bunch.
Right, and like it would not be sanitary, but like
yeah,
like I said, from like a childhood fantasy from someone who grew up in the '90s, absolutely, I can see that.
What if in a fictional setting? What if we just us '90s kids? What if we had just kind of a sanitary? It'd be only us using it, and we'd know for a fact we had like basically an office space of some sort, kind of our break room, kind of a brainstorming area. We'd have like a ball pit. We toss around the balls and kind of think of some ideas.
I can see it.
Wouldn't that be quaint? Wouldn't that be like
just like a private like office ball pit?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like it's like so the fancy place have the hot tubs, only a ball pit.
No, I can totally see that.
Yeah,
kind of like how some workplaces have like nap areas now.
Yeah, something like that. Sure. Anyway. Let's see. All right. So, okay, let's see. So, point being, we're in kind of like Ronald's helping everybody out. And we have a song. Our song's definitely, not great.
The songs are not great in this episode by any means.
They never were great, to be honest. Though, honestly,
I mean, there's none that are offensively bad as the Grimace Island one, but like that might be the worst song that I have ever heard, just objectively speaking. But
so I mean, simplistically from a writing standpoint, what we do have going on here is okay. So he's about to shoot the ray, he's going to turn everyone into babies, and we basically it all lies on the Hamburglar not to botch something up. And we use all Ronald's gifts that we set up earlier in Act 1 to save the day. Pretty straightforward, and we jam the giant machine with the Ronald toy head. Always bummed me out to some degree. It's like, oh man, he broke it. But it did save everyone though, so it was worth it. Yeah, and we do get as you see in the image here, we do get kind of like an equivalent to. I don't know if Franklin had another toy or not, but it has like a little cake topper. It's Ronald on it.
Yeah,
it's always the leg. Yeah, it's kind of back. Look at that. So we have cake. We eat a bevy of cake. I love that line of Grimace. I'll have a bevy of cake.
God.
Oh, but did you notice the mistake? There was a mistake in the edit for the episode with Grimace when they transitioned from Pinchworm getting chased by the dog to the cake, where Grimace has like a line, but he's adult Grimace with the voice of young Grimace.
I don't think I did notice that. No.
Yeah, he says some sort of line, but it's all kind of like high pitched, like little Grimace. Yeah, so it's we have cake, and then live action Ronald gets a surfboard from King Goon. What is it, King Goomba? Goonga, thank you. Sorry, Goonga. I'm misreading my own lettering. Yes, Goonga.
Yeah, and I always appreciated the fact that that's actually a really good callback.
Yeah.
And also, it's a decent callback because hey, it's in continuity because that is in fact the episode that Ronald surfed.
Yeah, I like the detail. It's kind of a cutesy detail. Oh, it's an island full of grimaces. So there's Grimace on the card. Yeah, that was nice. So, I mean, is there anything you think of we should mention that we haven't already? Folks in the comments, anything you want to talk about before we probably pack up or?
It's not even the same surfboard design. Just noticed that. Z&K says even outside of McDonald's play places, normal playground slides always shock you. Yes, absolutely. There were even slides like at the fair.
Oh yeah, for sure. Did you? I wonder if because I remember at the fair you had like the giant slide, but they gave you like a carpet to ride on. You remember the carpet?
I definitely remember the carpet ones for sure, but
the carpet wasn't
was
designed to prevent the shocking, was it?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
So I do think this is probably the best one yet for me personally, just because I feel like it held my attention. I actually really like the villain. I don't know. I don't have the nostalgia that you do for the Alien one. So honestly, the Alien one just didn't hit with me the same way it hit with you.
Well, I mean, debatably, I have more nostalgia for this, but I think I just have maybe a better experience with the other one. I don't know. I mean, I think I like them both for sure. I mean, that's the thing; they're both very highly nostalgic for me. I mean, I don't know. It's a I think there's simplicity to the previous one. Where here, this is good. It's just we linger a little too long in Babytown. Yep. Oh, let's see. Dean Wright has something in the comments.
Yeah, he says the sixth tape was the lost media hunt I was most personally invested in. Was that really lost media? Did that never actually get released until it dropped on YouTube?
I mean, Tiki, let me put it this way. I'm pretty sure they did not have the first two tapes. Now that's kind of like a thing that probably came out like Happy Meal toys. Once they were gone, they were gone. I don't know how well they sold, but believe me, if I have like 3, 4, and if I have 3, 4, and 5, that suggests I was getting them rather consistently. So if I couldn't find 6 when I was looking for them, it's probably hard to find.
Interesting. Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was hard to find, because I imagine I'd want all those tapes. And there is a slim chance I do actually have 1 through 5. I just don't know. I really don't recall, or I've never seen the first 2.
Yeah, I don't know why I only ever got the first one, because I'm sure I could have gotten the other ones.
Yeah. I think there's a very slim.
But this one was only sold for a limited time online around 03. Oh, wow. And 03 online shopping is not how it is now. So, yeah, that's crazy.
Let me put it to you this way. The first tape I absolutely did not have. I remember the ship in the bottle, which makes me paranoid that I might have had the second one, but I don't recall it, because I love that ship in a bottle gag. But that's the thing. I don't know. So if I recall, I mean, 03 is probably sold online afterwards. I don't know if it means it was actually sold like during that time or not, because this thing started in '99. I highly doubt they would have kept it going for like 4 years. I think it's probably like an online thing after the fact. At least if I'm a betting man, that's how that went down. Not sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's interesting though. But yeah. So I'll let that one thing do. We're absolutely we're going completely blind on that 6th one. I'll tell you that much.
For sure.
I remember hearing. I do remember them building it up on all the ads for we saw here are the next 3 that are coming out. Or that Loch Ness monster. What?
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think it's about time to get out of here. Big thanks to Dean Wright, Z&K, and Monkey for joining us in the comments. You guys are awesome. Next time is Have Time Will Travel, featuring the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mayor McCheese.
Yeah.
Excited about that.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one, everyone. Stay wacky.
He's the bad guy, remember?